and tiptoed back to the kitchen to sort out more pressing things. Coffee. Thank God we had a gas stove, and thank God we used a French press. I had to leave the broken kitchen door open to let in light, but no electricity was required for the brew. As I waited for the grinds to steep, I quietly cleaned up the mess of broken glass and bird feathers, oscillating between guilt and relief that my bedroom had been spared by the storm. Every one of my things suddenly seemed precious. Just as the rich smells of coffee and chicory filled the air, in walked my father like a perfectly timed commercial. Only in this version, his cheery tone served to overcompensate for his hangover. He broke from rubbing his head to kiss my cheek.
Morning. It's almost like being a normal person, being awake at this hour.
I know, I'm so used to your vampire hours. At that moment, I realized how much I'd missed him. It's nice. I wiped down a mug and poured him the first cup. He took a giant swig and nearly choked.
Jeez, Adele. Trying to put more hair on my chest?
Gross. My nose wrinkled. I forgot we wouldn't have milk to steam. Chuckling, I added more hot water to our cups. What's the plan for today? He took another sip before answering.
Find someone to check out the back wall and fix the kitchen door. Sort through what's salvageable in my studio, take photos, and begin the mountain of paperwork to file an insurance claim. Exciting stuff. Oh, then I'll go down to the bar and start the process all over. How about you?
The house is like a cave. Can you take down the storm boards first? He nodded. And set up the generator? A yawn interrupted his second nod. I'll do an inventory of our food and water and find out which grocers are back in business. Then I have school stuff. And I want to stop by Café Orléans to see if the Michels are back in town.
You've obviously had more coffee than me.
He drained his cup. Oh, and I was thinking I'd move all of my stuff to the room upstairs, but I'll have to clean it out first. Before our quick inspection last night, I hadn't been up there in ages.
Why would you move your stuff upstairs?
So you can move into my bedroom.
You don't have to do that, sweetheart. I want you to get settled. I can move the studio to the second floor.
No, it just makes more sense for me to move upstairs. Your studio can be right next to your bedroom, and if you decide to work when you get home from the bar, you won't wake me up going up and down the stairs.
You're the best.
He kissed my forehead.
I'm going to start unboarding the windows.
In a cloud of steam, I stepped out of the dark bathroom and into the dark hallway. Hair dripping, candle in hand. After all the hours in transit, the hot shower felt glorious, even if beforehand I had to wait for the brown water to run clear and was subsequently freaked out the entire time because, in the candlelight, I couldn't tell whether it had turned murky again. When I got to my bedroom, I blew out the candle with a smile. The boards were gone from the 10-foot-high windows. A small win for normalcy. Everything got a sniff test for mustiness as I dug through my closet. After tossing 4 different dresses on the floor, I decided everything needed to be washed. Thanks to ma grand-mère, who I'd just met for the first time in Paris, there was certainly no shortage of things to wear in my suitcase. She'd been appalled by the lack of designer names in my wardrobe and had not held back on our shopping spree. I pulled out the simplest thing, a plain black Chanel frock. Walking through the devastated city in a 600-euro dress was deplorable, but there weren't really any better options. At least it lacked embellishments. I tied the matching silk sash around my waist and dug through my luggage for shoes. I tossed aside ballet flats and dainty booties and went back to my closet for my deep burgundy Doc Martens, my shit kickers, as Brooke called them. My feet slipped easily into the molds of the worn boots, making me instantly happy. Familiarity. I rebandaged my wound, grabbed a small blue-fringed bag, keys, and sunglasses, and was out the door. The shrill of a power tool unscrewing the boards came from the side of the house. "Dad! I'm going for a walk. Be back soon." The drill stopped, and my father's head popped through the side gate.
Please be careful. Cell service is spotty, so text me if you need anything, and be back before lunchtime.
Okay. My father hadn't told me to be back home by lunchtime.